YouTube, and welcome to this quick little video. I always say it's a quick video and it usually never is. I am sorry about that. But this is going to talk about how to wire dispensers that are stacked together like you see behind me. Shout out to the BSL Shader pack. This is Minecraft 117.1. And I found a tweak guide by TecThor that I have used to make it look as pretty as it is, and I just want to give a quick shout out to that. Also, a quick shout out to the creator of the YouTube video that provided the schematic for this cannon over here. If we take an hour, because it's so far away, to fly over here and take a look, I learned how to do this wiring from this, looking at this, studying how this is being done here. So I want to give a shout out to whoever created that cannon and explain now how to do this. Now you might be wondering, why in the world is he doing a video on how to wire stack dispensers? Well, that video doesn't exist at YouTube, or I can't find it, or it's not under that name. I can't find anything at all about how you would wire dispensers if you have a huge giant stack of them. I'll give you a small example. Without the method that I'm about to show you, getting all of these dispensers right here to fire, not only at the same time, but for every single one of them to fire consistently every time I press the button, it would be nearly impossible. And there's no tutorial online. I looked up wiring dispensers, I looked up redstone wiring, I looked up what kind of blocks could take power through, because I thought at one time that maybe the netherite block wasn't working correctly. There's nothing there, and even in the Canon tutorials, there's nothing there. They don't explain it. They just show you basically what to do, but I have not found a tutorial yet that explains it. So if you are somebody who knows redstone and knows how to wire stack dispensers and have made a tutorial and put it up at YouTube, go ahead and link it to the comment below. Put a link in the comment section below, and I'll give you a shout out, and I appreciate that. But I couldn't find it looking up those search terms at Google. But Google, well, YouTube Google search kind of sucks anyway. It's hard to find stuff sometimes. Anyway, so here is the basic principles. We have to have power coming into a dispenser system, the wiring part of the system. We have to have a power coming in. Now, these are repeaters, for those that don't know, and this little, looking like an arrow, even though it looks more like a footprint, but it's actually an arrow, is pointing in the direction that the power will flow. You've got to have this pointing at a solid block. It must be a solid block, and I will show you why. If you do not have it pointing at a solid block, if, for example, you have it pointing, I've got two redstone lamps here, and by the way, redstone lamps don't work either. I don't know why, but if I use glowstone like I did here and I press this button, that doesn't light. There's no lighting that. And if I press the button over here with the solid block, that lights up. So you have to have a solid block. A non-solid block is a block that is defined as hollow or smaller than a normal block or something of that nature. So it has to be a solid material of some sort. I guess wiring can kind of sneak around the edges of the glowstone, and that's why glowstone is used, but you can also use glass, I believe. I'm pretty sure you still get the dot if you use glass. Glowstone just looks cooler, I guess. I'm not sure what all other things you can use other than slabs. You could use slabs in place of these. That's the old school way of doing it. And it has to be this particular design. On top of everything else, you have to have a solid block base, and your first row lining up with your first row of dispensers has to be solid blocks. And then you have to add repeaters, and oh yeah, and it has to start at the same corner. Now I'm not sure if that's 100% written in stone, but I have to start at the corner, at the bottom row where the dispensers start. So that's solid block all the way to the corner. If I take this out here, that'll make it easier for you to see. There's a dispenser here and a dispenser here, and then so forth all the way down. Got a solid block to that dispenser right there. Then I put this in, and then I run my wiring. And when I run my wiring, I can now see that I have lines going up here, down, over to here, up and down, and these are all set to 1 tick, so there's no delay. You don't want any delay on these because this is going to be, in this particular instance, the power, not the power, excuse me. Is that the power? No, the power, yes. This is the power of the cannon. That was a cool view right there. This is the power of the cannon that we, of a part of a cannon. Although, if you're using it for something else, you might want to delay then, but in this particular instance, we don't want the delay. We just want that snuggled up against the back of these repeaters. And that, I think, powers the repeaters. I am not sure what powers these blocks here to power these blocks in front. So don't ask me because I don't know. I'm wondering if the redstone, but I don't think power travels through these. I think power can travel on top and around the edges, but not through it. It'll only travel through solid blocks. So I don't know what is powering that block right there. I have no clue. But somehow that block is being powered. But my guess is that this actually is powering 2 here. That this repeater actually powers both this block and then this dispenser and the one above it. I'm not 100% sure how it works. I can't dissect it very well. But I can follow the lines and I can see how it works, and I can press the button. I can watch all of these torches light up. And I've tried a variety of iterations, so I know what does and doesn't work, and this is the way to do it. And now I can stack. From here on out, I would just continue using the glowstone and stacking that. I only need this metal stuff at the bottom. So if I come over here, you can see that I've already started that. There's the metal on the bottom, and now we're under the glowstone going up. And all this is doing, it looks really weird and complicated, but all it's doing is powering these repeaters, which is powering these dispensers, and it makes them all fire at the same time. That was the best sound in the world. I knew when I heard that single click that I got it right. I finally figured it out. It was like been working on this for 3 days, so it was something else to finally figure that out. So inside these dispensers, I have a redstone dust. Just 1 redstone dust. When I press this button, let's destroy the redstone that we have. When I press the button, I should be getting 10 total redstone dust. If I have wired my stuff correctly, and I'm pretty sure I have, that's what we should see. All right, let's press the button, and we'll run real quick over to take a look at the torches. You see that everything lights. You've heard the click, probably just barely. And if I run over all of this, I should see 10. That is the best feeling in the world right there. That's probably how Mumbo Jumbo felt the first time he made a really awesome machine in redstone that worked. Or something similar to that, I'm sure. And now if I go through all the dispensers, they're all going to be empty. Of course, none of them now have anything in them because they've all dispensed their single thing of redstone. Okay? So what we're going to do is show you how to wire and give you an idea how that all works. So we're going to lay out a couple of blocks here. This block is going to be my abutment block. It's going to abut a block that goes here. And then there's going to be another solid block, if I can get it working. Let's try it this way, right here. There we go. And if I have done my job correctly, and I probably messed something up, we can now go up, I would say 12, 10, maybe 16. I don't know. But this is not something to be done in survival because it's going to use a lot of resources. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's do 12 and hope that that's high enough for what I want to do, but since I don't believe it will be, I'm going to do 13, 14, 15 and call it good. Now on the other side of this, we're going to lay out our... Actually, this is in the wrong location. I screwed up. I knew I'd screw up. Easy fix, but I gotta make sure I get it right in my head. And now we lay out our redstone dust. Don't put any delay on any of these. We don't want any delay. There we go. If I want to copy it exactly, because I don't really know what makes it work versus doesn't work. So if I copy the same design, one hopes that one figures it out. And we still don't got it. But let's try and see what happens if I do that. Or actually, let's go one more over and what are you doing? Do that. Okay, the signal is not traveling. Well, it's because I'm in the wrong location now that I realize it. I would actually want this over here. I see what I'm doing wrong. Okay, we are getting power all the way to the top. This is good. Let's put a piston right here. See what that does. I'm going to move this button so that I can more easily see. Oh, that isn't going to help me easily see anything. How about over here to this side? And that, in a nutshell, folks, is how you wire going up vertically. I believe this can work downhill as well, but don't quote me on that. And now we're going to use this for something kind of fun. But that's how you do the wiring that you saw in the cannons and my little example over there. And I don't know why I feel I have to copy the exact placement. I just know that there has to be this base of solid blocks for some reason. And that makes it work. Don't ask me why, because I don't know. Okay. Now we're going to have some fun. Yes, sirree, Bob. I'm going to take a redstone torch and place it here. I'm going to place a piston here. And I think I want the piston facing this way. Going to put this here, and let's see, I think that's what we need. Let's see if we're right. That was very anticlimactic. Here I have finally solved the problem, and I didn't get to see it because I wasn't able to watch my button. Okay, now we're going to use this to pick on my absolute most hated enemy in this game. We're going to design it right around this, and I want to hook a pressure plate probably underneath it. So let's get a pressure plate. I think a wooden one might be fine. We'll use an acacia pressure plate for no reason in particular. All right. We know that this is where it's going to come down. And now all I have to do is figure out how to wire it. In a way that provides power. Now, how much of a delay we've got? That's interesting. It dropped as an item, not as a full anvil when it hit the pressure plate. Okay. Well, I obviously don't want that. Okay, so here's my pressure plate. Now let's have some fun. I need a fence. Just a simple fence. I need to figure out the best way to rig this up. Doesn't have to be anything particularly fancy. Let's see. Probably cannot run a fence over redstone. That would be my guess. Okay, let's give this a try. I need a creeper egg. Because I hate creepers. They're little bastards, and I want to hurt them as much as I can. Hello, creeper. Have fun in my little party. And of course, I forget to load the trap. And the creeper's just laughing at me over there. I can hear him just laughing at me. Didn't even work. That didn't land in the right spot at all. Okay, let's fix the fence. Trying again. Round 2, creeper. Best trap ever. Worst design ever, but best trap ever. It just got squished and killed in one hit. I feel a lot better. So now you know how to stack your signal for redstone vertically. Please leave a comment below if you have any questions or if anything needs to be clarified or if you're trying to understand what the heck's going on. I will try to really quickly go over one final time just to make sure everything's done. So we'll do a real quick recap. So, to stack a redstone signal vertically going up, and it may work going down, although I cannot guarantee that, you need this design. This design is solid, starts with 2 solid blocks and then goes to non-solid or opaque, what they call opaque or transparent blocks. On the solid blocks, on the other side of them, you'll have the opaque blocks connected directly to the solid blocks, and on the other side of that, on the solid blocks, you'll have the repeaters pointing inwards towards whatever devices you're going to be powering. On the glowstone or glass or whatever you use, or slabs, you will place a dot of redstone. You'll know you've done it right because you get a little circle and you'll see little lines going to the repeaters. The repeaters will be extending the signal and bringing it all the way up here. This circuit works because when the pressure plate is pressed, this temporarily turns off. I don't think I have any way to show that to you, but let me see if I can. I don't know if you caught it. It was very hard for me to fly up here in time to see it, but this turns off. So its signal is inverted. Right now, it's turned on and it's serving as a power source and it's powering this piston. When a piston is powered, it pushes a block out. Now, it can be pushed and connected with a sticky piston like so, or it can be a block that you connect with it wouldn't be stuck to it, but it would be a regular piston. I use a sticky piston because I wanted to put an anvil on top here, so when this signal is cut and it withdraws, the anvil's still hanging out here in space. The block it was resting on is now gone, and it will fall directly down, unlike a trapdoor that it will rest on or something of that nature, or trying to use double pistons or whatever. This is the simplest method for dropping an anvil on something or someone. This you always have to do in the corners. You always have to have a redstone. That's why you'll see on these cannons that there are these dots of redstone on the corners. You can't run like a repeater there because repeaters are directional. That's what the little footprint looking type thing, it's actually an arrow means. And this block is powered because there's redstone resting on it. It may not be powered if I just had it going up to it, but I can't say for sure. This torch will only power not the block it's resting on, but above it, and to, I believe, each side and in front. I'm not sure. It might power behind it. I'm not 100% sure on that. So don't quote me. I don't know. And that's basically the gist of it. This pressure plate takes and puts a current into this. You can travel a current up to 15 blocks, and then it runs out of power. This repeater here, which I have a delay on, I should not, it's pointing towards this block that is connected to this block that this repeater is resting on, pointing that way. And that's what delivers the power signal going up. But I'm not 100% sure how it works. A little bit kind of magical to me. I mean, I don't understand all this stuff. I've just been looking at examples, watching videos, and learning and experimenting and trying to figure it out as I go. So we'll end the video with a real quick fun fire on this cannon over here. There's going to be a tutorial with these cannons in a future video. I've already done one video, but since I've done the cannons differently, I'm going to do another video. Let's have a little bit of fun. We'll look right through our crosshairs here. Now, how's that for a hole right there, man? All right, that concludes this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.